So I wanted to go over some really important things with you guys today, which is going to be very simple: breath and chest lift, which would be kind of what you go into when you are going into a crunch. So let's get started. You don't need anything but your body and a place to lay down flat. Okay, good. All right, so breathing. Breath comes first. I believe that is the most important part of any practice, particularly Pilates, which is what I practice. Joseph Pilates always said, above all, learn to breathe properly. Totally true. And that's what we're going to do right now. Rest your palms next to your hips. Look directly up at the ceiling. Start to breathe like you would breathe when you're laying in bed at night trying to fall asleep. And start to deepen those breaths. While you're doing that, take a peek at the screen and look at this picture of your diaphragm. Your diaphragm is a dome-shaped muscle in between your ribs. Okay? It's kind of located above the belly button, but below the shoulder blades, up in there inside the mid of your, upper body, your upper torso. Think about this. When you inhale, contract your diaphragm. So in other words, inhale to the back of the ribs. Imagine you're inhaling into the mat underneath your ribs, behind you. Practice that a few times. When you're doing that, you're also going to inhale, let your rib cage open, so your rib cage separates. The reason for that is you're filling up your lungs with air. Pretty straightforward, right? Now for me, my favorite part of breathing is the exhale. On your exhale, there are two major things that you want to make sure you're doing. Let's talk about the first one. The first one is called a pelvic floor lift. So right here, in between my hip bones, this little triangle, this is my pelvic floor region. Okay, there's a lot of muscles inside, two major muscles in there. There's a lot of organs and other things contained within. Think about when you exhale, letting those muscles that are in your pelvic floor shift towards your belly button. It's not your bones, it's your muscles. Think of those muscles shifting forward. Here's something that will help. Pretend you have something like a ball or whatever, a pillow between your thighs. Squeeze on it. Every time you squeeze the pillow or the ball, that's a pelvic floor lift. So the activation of my upper inner thigh up through my groin, that is a pelvic floor lift. So imagine you're having that sensation and that lift on every exhale you make. Maybe add a little bit, tiny bit of a butt squeeze as well, and that completes your pelvic floor lift. The second thing that's really important is drawing your rib cage together, which is also upper abdominal flexion. Okay? So you've seen like a shirtless guy with abs for days. That upper section where he's really cut, that's the six pack. That's your upper abdominals. Everyone has them, whether they're covered by something or not. Okay? So when you exhale, think about flexing those and pulling your ribs together as you lift the pelvic floor. All of that happens on just your exhale. So start to go through. Inhale, diaphragm. Exhale, pelvic floor, rib close, back and forth. I highly recommend after this video practicing that for a while. When I was first beginning my breathing practices, I did it every single morning for about 10 minutes. It actually really calmed me down for the day. It was really nice. Second thing I just want to go over is a proper chest lift or crunch, because I see it done wrong a lot. Okay, take your fingertips behind your ears or head. Here's what is really important. It's where your head and chin actually are. Okay, you want to pretend you have a fist under the chin. In fact, try it. Put your fist under your chin while the other hand is behind the head, and just lift up your head, neck, and chest, and lower. Lift and lower. Bring that hand out behind your head. Keep your chin in the same place and lift and lower. Okay? If there's one thing I wish I had learned when I first started working out in my early 20s, a long time ago, was that I didn't need to lift here. I used to hear lift with your chest, so I did, and my chin would look back, and oh, my neck would hurt so bad. Another thing, no, I don't want to double chin it either, okay? There's a nice in-between where your neck is long. So the vertebrae in my neck align to the vertebrae in my upper back, and it's a natural curve, okay? So I would practice that. So if you have time today, tomorrow, practice that breathing for about 5 minutes, if you can. And then practice that chest lift, like 5 minutes, 10 minutes as well. Just crunch over and over, take a break, breathe, go back to crunching. Just go through those things. Those will take you really far in your practice if you can master that form in the beginning. And that's all I have for you. Hope this helped.